Hello, so today I'm going to be showing you how to blend with acrylic paints. This was all inspired by one of NerdECrafter's newest videos because she said she was bad with blending acrylic paints, so I decided I would post a video about it. So this is something I painted. I also made this and painted this, and I painted that one. This one has the most blending, this one has medium blending, and this one has the least blending, because I didn't blend anything in this. Okay, so, things to note before I start the video. So there are different methods of blending. I don't normally paint sculptures, but I would love to do more, so this one's like one of the only ones I've painted. I'm not an expert. I'm still learning and will be for a while. This isn't a step-by-step type thing, but it's just some tips and the basics. Just got through that first. So the simplest way and the most common way is with water. So you'll take your first color, which in this case I'm using red, and put down a bit over here. This is some cheap acrylic paints from Dollarama, but you know. So you have a bit right there, and then clean off your brush. And get some blue, which is the second color I'm using. And I'm going to just put those side by side, and I'm going to take a bit of water, and I'm just going to go in between them and kind of smudge them against each other, which these two colors make a really disgusting color, but you know, it works. And if you need to, you can add more of one color to one side type of thing. Except you should probably wash your brush first. I forgot a tissue, but you know, that's okay. And then just blend it in like that. You know. And there are some other ways too. You can have, like, say you have one color on one side of the brush and the other color on the other side, which I learned this in art class. You can kind of blend it while you paint type thing. So then you have different colors in each stroke. It's not focusing. There is, you can just do one color like this, and then you take, let me just wipe off my brush a bit. Then you take your other color and blend it in like so. I mainly use this method in art class because we barely use water in that class. So there's that. I don't know why we don't use water. The teacher just says we don't use it because she's bad at using water with it, but that doesn't make much sense to me. And then just, you kind of have a gradual blend, like in this painting right here. And then there are some other ways, like if you, hold on, let me just wipe that off, okay. If you take your red, I'm just kind of doing this wherever. And then you take like this color. Again, this is basically the same thing. I don't know what I'm saying. And then you can use like different directions, whatever. You can always just try to experiment. It helps a lot with learning how to paint and blend and stuff. So, like this one, just get more red over here. The red is kind of disappearing. Okay, so we have that. See, it's an ugly color. Gross. Anyway, what else do we have here? Well, this one, it's kind of watered down, so I'm going to do that one again just to show. Let me just use this though. That there and that there. It's the same paints, it's just that the caps were kind of emptying themselves out a bit. See, there you go. And obviously you can get them more on the sides and near the middle if you want. This one's a bit dry. Let me try that again. Oh shoot, okay. There we go. And then if you go over the same spot, you can kind of blend it out more. There's also, I'm still trying to use the caps even though there's like nothing in them. There's also like, if you have like a flat area and then you want to add some like details into it, let me just get a flat coat of red paint here. I'm going to add a second layer while it's still wet because always good to have a second coat. There we go. More paint. Right, okay, so now it's nice and wet. If you just like blend it on top, you don't need to use a brush as big as mine, but you know. Shoot, okay. Here, see? You have, it's not as clean of a blend, but you get the general idea. I think. But yeah, it kind of just mixes the color with on your brush. Hold on a second. So you have that, which is kind of weird, but you know, that works too. And then there are also the styles that don't really blend, but they kind of mix mid-tones and so say this is like the middle, right? This is the middle, and then you have your red on one side and your blue on the other. Hold on a second. Let me just wipe off my brush on this tissue. Let me get the blue. Okay, there. Your blue on the other, which is still fairly liquidy. So then they would just like mix until it, I mean, that looks fairly nice actually. Hold on a second. Let me just get a bit of red. Come on, give me a little bit. There we go. Then you get your red and slowly blend into the purple. The ugly purple, but you know, it's still purple. And then you kind of start on both sides and then blend them in slowly. As you can see. So I showed you a few ways on how to blend your paints. First one was with water, and it kind of looks like watercolor that way. This one kind of failed because it was still wet, but it kind of works that way too. This one and this one were kind of the same, but this one was still a bit wet. This one was just pure paint. This one was also pure paint. It was just this one with pure paint. This one was kind of weird, but it works too. That's what I used on my duck, which So you can see there's like little tiny details in it. I blended the wings out into the other pink because I had a darker pink right here, and it kind of blended out. There's a heart on the back and all that. But yeah, all this was made with red, white, and black. So this was just red mixed with black and whatever. So, and then we have this one, which I feel was one of the best ones. But feel free to do whichever one you like. Let me just clean out my brush real quick. Always good to clean off your brush. And then wipe it clean. And clean. So, I hope this was helpful to some of you. It's a fairly long video for something so simple, but this is just kind of the basics on painting with acrylics. This is just blending, but you know, it helps. I hope. Again, I hope this helps, but you know, so hold on a second, let me just make sure my paints are tightly closed. Okay, I think it's good. And I'll just write down the number of tips I set. So there's the first one. This pen is dying. Hold on a second. Ow, that hurt my teeth. Okay. There. Oh, shoot, that's still wet. Okay, careful, Michelle. Careful. Careful. There's the first one. There's the second one. There's the third one. There's the fourth one. I cannot. Okay, fifth. This one was the sixth, and this one was the seventh. So there's just, hold on, let me, there, okay. There's just an overview of all the tips I showed today, and hopefully this was of use to some people. If not, I'll be glad to hear your tips in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!